Filing immigration paperwork carries immense psychological weight. A single missed signature in a mountain of forms can derail your entire life in the United States. And the immediate financial risk is just as steep. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, strictly enforces a no-refund policy. If your application is denied because of a minor error, the government keeps your money. To put that into perspective, a standard application like an adjustment of status to get your green card carries an estimated government fee of over $1,440. That is cash most people cannot afford to lose on a technicality. Because the stakes are so high, applicants are historically forced into a frustrating trilemma: 3 specific options for getting these complex forms prepared. Option 1 is retaining a traditional immigration attorney. You get a high degree of security, but it requires a massive financial investment that prices out many families. Option 2 is the storefront notary or local preparer. They promise incredibly low costs, but they operate with virtually zero oversight or regulation. Option 3 is do-it-yourself software. These platforms market themselves as an easy fix, but they push the entire legal liability directly onto you. This chart plots the immigration preparation landscape. We will use it to measure financial cost on the x-axis against reliability and accuracy on the y-axis category. The traditional landscape effectively forces applicants to choose between overpaying for simple administrative forms or gambling their non-refundable fees on risky, unregulated shortcuts. Let's look closely at the highest cost path, retaining an immigration lawyer, which often starts at $3,000 or more. Attorneys are absolutely essential if you have a complex legal history or need deportation defense. But paying bespoke legal fees for purely administrative filings, like a DACA renewal or replacing a lost green card, is mathematically irrational. On the total opposite end of the spectrum, you have the option of handing your physical documents to a cheap local storefront preparer. The operational reality of these shops is highly variable. They often rely on manual data entry by unvetted staff, operating without any standardized quality control systems. A single typo by a local preparer triggers a devastating chain reaction. You face a direct rejection from USCIS, the total forfeiture of your $1,440 government fee, and months of unnecessary bureaucratic delay. Then there is the hidden trap of DIY software. It looks like it solves the cost problem, but it requires you to perfectly navigate confusing government logic on your own. These platforms ultimately leave you guessing. There is no human expert reviewing your specific documents to catch nuance before you lock in your final submission. Relying on these extreme options means you are either draining your savings for legal defense you do not actually need, or accepting a catastrophic level of error risk. This brings us to a fourth approach that avoids the traditional trilemma: the tech-enabled concierge model, using ISBA Immigration Form Services as our case study. The core concept of the ISBA model is simple. They combine a highly secure software portal for collecting your documents with an internal team of human experts who meticulously assemble your USCIS applications for you. This matrix compares these models objectively across 4 strict metrics: cost, user effort, accuracy, and data security. As you can see, local preparers score well on cost, but they fail critically when it comes to accuracy and keeping your data secure. Moving to the next column, DIY software keeps costs low, but the user effort metric maxes out, and accuracy remains highly variable because you are acting as your own legal expert. Looking at lawyers, they deliver perfect accuracy and security, but they heavily penalize the cost row, demanding massive upfront fees. Finally, the ISBA concierge model achieves the high accuracy and security of a law firm, but lands securely in the mid-tier for cost, offering an optimal balance. This model eliminates the binary choice between bankrupting yourself and risking a devastating rejection. It isolates exactly what you need: flawless administrative preparation. So how does ISBA actually neutralize the problem of user effort in practice? It starts with the first 2 steps of their process. You simply choose your pathway, like a marriage green card, and upload your raw, unorganized documents directly to a private portal, based on an exact checklist they provide. This flowchart illustrates the final steps. Your raw data enters the secure portal, where ISBA's internal team translates it, navigates the complex USCIS logic on your behalf, and sends you a finalized draft for approval. Looking at the cost breakdown for their marriage green card bundle, the estimated government filing fee is $1,440, while the complete ISBA preparation fee is a flat $600. Spending $600 to secure a $1,440 investment across 4 complex forms, the I-130, I-485, work permits, and advance parole, represents a calculated insurance policy against costly refiling. The math holds up for single forms as well. ISBA charges a flat $150 to manage a DACA renewal and exactly $300 to prepare your U.S. citizenship application. These flat preparation fees are completely transparent. They act as a direct antidote to the hidden costs and hourly billing traps of traditional legal retainers. The concierge model provides a highly optimized, predictable fee exclusively for the heavy lifting phase of your application, letting you keep your savings intact. But when people hunt for the absolute cheapest preparation option, they often ignore a massive, invisible vulnerability: data privacy. An immigration packet requires assembling your most sensitive raw material. You are compiling passports, full tax returns, W-2s, and birth certificates into a single file. Handing those physical, unredacted documents over the counter to an unregulated local storefront with no formal data retention policies exposes you to severe risks of identity theft. Contrast that physical vulnerability with ISBA's digital infrastructure, which relies on strict bank-level encryption to secure your private portal. They follow a rigid protocol where your documents are reviewed exclusively by their internal experts. Your data is never sold or shared with third parties. True peace of mind in this process requires 2 things: an error-free form ready for the government, and the absolute certainty that your foundational identity documents have not been compromised. While the concierge model is highly efficient, it is not a one-size-fits-all solution for every single immigrant. This decision tree maps your ideal path. For complex legal histories, hire an attorney. For zero-budget cases with abundant free time, DIY software works. But for standard cases requiring guaranteed accuracy, controlled costs, and minimal time investment, choose the center path, the ISBA concierge model. For common pathways like bringing a fiancé, removing green card conditions, or applying for naturalization, taking this middle path is mathematically the smartest choice. By avoiding the extreme costs of legal retainers and the error risks of local preparers, ISBA's full-service concierge model empowers you and your family to firmly establish your roots in America with absolute, total confidence.